Welcome to the Barakat Trust podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast of the Barakat Trust. My name is Thomas Adkins, and with me today in person, I have Ismael Awad. Thank you, Ismael, for joining us.
You're welcome. I hope this podcast will be a good one.
And so, Ismael, we're lucky today to actually be together in person in Cairo. Ismael is based in Alexandria, and today we're going to be talking about his project that was received an A3 grant from the Barakat Trust in 2024, titled Shrines of the Lake Maryut Region. And today Ismael was passing through Cairo, and so we took the opportunity to sit down and talk about this fantastic project which surveyed 282 shrines in the region of Lake Maryut. Ismael works he's a geographer, cartographer and surveyor and GIS scientific researcher at the Centre d'études Alexandrines in Alexandria and received his PhD at Lyon University in 2020. And I came across the report of Ismael recently and the fantastic photos by Samar Bayoumi, and I wanted to basically learn more, and I thought our audience would also be interested to hear more about the project that you were running 2024-2025 that's now complete. And so maybe we can begin with the very basics. You've titled the project Shrines of the Lake Maryut Region. Let's begin with what is a shrine and where is the Lake Maryut region?
Okay, at the beginning, if we talk about shrines, I know it is the meaning of this term can differ from religion to another, but we are focusing on the Muslim shrines, particularly in the west margin of the Delta and south of Alexandria. It is the Maryut Lake region, and I'm talking about the old lake of Maryut that named Maryutis, and through the maps of the French campaign in Egypt in 1801, we could trace the limit of the old lake. So this is a study area in which I'm focusing on it, because the Maryut Lake actually just 18% of the old.
So it shrunk?
Yes, it shrunk in 200 years to 18%. Oh, wow. So this is why I took the large area, and when I go about 50 kilometers at the east of Alexandria or 40 kilometers at south of Alexandria. This is why I took this study area. It is about 3,000 kilometers square.
Wow.
And my work was based on maps. It is not a survey on ground, but the base was on maps, in which I used the first topographic map of the French campaign in 1801, then a map known of Mahmoud Bilfalaki in 1866, then 1914 series maps, and 1940s, 1930s, and the last one is 1990s. Then it was an imagery study based on satellite images, because it was only the last map series that covers this region as a whole. So it was a part of my thesis in PhD in 2020, in which on these maps I figured that there is just a small symbol. It is just a symbol of hilal or a crescent, sometimes with a name on it, and sometimes just the symbol. So when I overlap these maps, I see that there is some of these shrines are always there. Sometimes they disappear and they appear again. So I try to spot or to locate through maps on the GIS programs and leave it as one of the heritage or archaeological entities through my PhD. Because always I was interested in archaeological entities to locate through maps. And I put these shrines just as a dot on the maps. But the idea came through another project. It is called GeoMar. It is a scientific project that is funded by the French National Research Agency in 2013 to 2016, in which talking about making a new and updated archaeological map of the region. So through these entities that I located through maps, I come with an archaeologist and a specialist of ceramics, and we go to these potential spots that are unknown, and we visit, we take photos, we relocate, we make a survey, but surface survey without making any excavations.
Yeah. So this is something I want to ask about the.
Yeah. So when we went to these entities, at the beginning I wasn't interested, but always on hills, on these hills or combs.
The shrines were on hills.
Yes, artificial shrines. Artificial hills,
yeah,
we see that there is a shrine.
Okay, so raised.
So always we were looking at the ground, and I take a photo just of this shrine. But when one by one, I figured that there is a big number of shrines related to these combs or cairns, which are artificial hills.
Which, for context, Qum in Arabic is like a pile, essentially.
It means
a lake, an antique.
It is an Arabic term of artificial hill. It is composed of successful rubble or ancient remains. And a cairn, it is also an Arabic term, means a vineyard. And it is a rectangular man-made structure to protect the vineyards. And it was really known in the Roman period. In the Maryut Lake it is known as one of the big regions to produce wine and even to export to Rome
in the days of the Roman Empire.
So why I'm talking about this is because we figured out that since our survey for this project, I found there is about 50 shrines that has been photographed not by accident, but wasn't our spot.
So you didn't know about it originally from the map? Was it something that didn't exist on the map and you found? Or?
No, I found it, but it wasn't my objective. My objective was the archaeological site in which there is the shrine. So because shrine is much more recent than the Byzantine period or Roman period related to these sites. So when I found there is a lot of shrines and very varied in structural type, and colors in maintenance, I figured about making a project just for the shrine.
Okay.
And
which is this?
Yes, which is this? Yes. So a shrine, it is a sacred or holy space dedicated to a descendant, family member, or a companion of Prophet Muhammad. This is known in all Egypt or in the Arabic area. We can find shrines related to the family of Prophet Muhammad, but most of them are really related to specific Sufi saint or a wali. Wali, the term, Arabic term of Sufi saint, or it can be for an ancient Islamic scholar, well known locally. It can be just an ancient student or an old student of Al-Azhar, for example. There is a lot of shrines for these students. When they got older, they became the sheikh of the village.
Al-Azhar, for context, being Egypt's largest and most important center for religious learning in Cairo.
Oh, yes. And also, this is what I found in the western part, desert or semi-desert part of the region, because the Maryut region, it is divided into two. This is the point of interest, is the variety of people and also the land. Its eastern part, it is related really to the delta, the countryside, soil and people, the fallah, the peasant. And on the contrary, at the western part, it is a semi-nomad or nomad style in desertic and semi-desertic style. So we can find shrines for the chief of Bedouin tribes or a chief of the village.
Okay.
So
there's variation even within the region you're looking at. There's variation based in geography.
This is why we found these beautiful photos, because it is one of the point of interest of this study. We are not searching for Mamluk shrines, only Mamluk shrines as in Cairo or in Alexandria or Rashid. but the style and the history of each shrine made this variety.
Yeah.
Bedouin style, Mamluk style, other styles. Depend on where we are, who for whom, and who did it.
Okay.
So this is.
And so this kind of leads me to my next question. You mentioned at the beginning how much the beginning of this project was based in the maps.
Yes.
And then you had a phase with Barakat funding where you were visiting. And you've already said how much of a difference that made of realizing the importance of the kulms, the artificial mounds. But I'm also aware that when you were visiting these shrines, you met a lot of people who maybe they keep the shrine, they maintain it, maybe they visit it. So I wanted to ask you about these interactions you had with the people who use the shrine and what you learned from them and how it informed this project.
Well, it was a great experience because the phase one, telling that what we have done, which is just, for me, just phase one.
Yeah.
Because there is other phases. Talking about this phase, it is just visiting these shrines, seeing the dome or the center of this shrine through satellite images.
Yeah.
And I don't have any photos, any documentation. Yeah. So maybe sometimes the name. So when we go there, we don't know what we will see, what situation, because I'm working with Google Earth. It is the most recent or updated way to see how. Yeah. But sometimes it can change through months. The situation of a shrine can
if you're working with an old image and then you come and it's changed.
Yeah, of course.
Disappeared maybe.
Yes. From this, when I said about there's 282 shrines, there's just 175 still existing, in which I'm sure they are still existing through satellite images. And there's others which are totally disappeared, that I'm sure, and there's the uncertain ones.
Right.
Those are the most difficult to see. So when we go there, we can find the servant of this shrine. In Arabic, it is khadim.
The person who the gatekeeper.
Yes, and who
caretaker.
The maintenance of this shrine. Sometimes we can find the descendant of
buried.
Yes. Sometimes neighbors, just neighbors, and sometimes we can't find anyone. We can stay there taking photographs for an hour or two.
Really?
No one.
Wow.
So sometimes we got lucky. We had some documentations, official documentations concerning the person who is buried or the date of the construction of this shrine, or maybe some photos also. And most of the shrines were related to something great named Moulid. The Moulid, it is the anniversary or the festival of the anniversary or the death of this the bird or this holy person. So through our meeting or our visit, we found a lot of people. Most are very related to this holy person, visiting this holy person maybe every weekend, or sometimes in the festivals they can make they pay for making this anniversary, or bring some cows or sheep to make meals. So this is kind of people mostly are very spiritual, in which they have the Sufism spirit in them, and they are very attached. Most of these people are protectors of the shrine. This is why most of the shrines still exist, even if it is I don't want to say ruined situation, or it will be ruined, but that they are still here. This is
even if the condition isn't amazing.
Yes, because there's a big problem. I saw by myself. There's a big problem to have money to maintain,
renovate.
Yes, because most of the shrines are really located in very small villages with very modest people. So
it's difficult.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So I mean, and I imagine those interactions also is what makes the visits special, really, for you.
Yeah, of course.
Each one has a different story to tell, or
Yes, we had, thanks to Summer Bayoumi, we made a lot of interviews.
Okay.
Mostly are taken by videos, so we made a lot of films talking with all type of people, sheikhs or neighbors, descendants, even children. There is a shrine known as Sidi Barakat in Alexandria. It is protected by the children.
The next generation.
Yes, and I was very happy to see this. This kind of protection.
I noticed that there was a big range in the ages of these shrines. The earliest was, I believe, the 13th century.
Yes.
But what was most surprising to me, and maybe to many audience members, is that there was a shrine of someone who was buried only at the end of the 20th century, a very young shrine.
Yes.
And so maybe you could tell me a little bit about the oldest that you came across, but also this youngest.
Okay, but before I want to say that I didn't succeed to date all these shrines that I visited, because as I said, sometimes the people can say any kind of date. So I just date the shrines when there is a mention on the shrine or on the tomb itself, or if I have a documentation.
Written evidence somewhere.
Yes, if I have a document, an official document telling about this. Mm-hmm. So we succeeded to date 60% of what we visited, and the oldest one, it dates of 1294. It is 13th century. It is of Muhammad al-Mughazi, or known as Sidi Ghazi, the son, because there is his father in another governorate, Kafr Sheikh. There is another Sidi Ghazi. So this is Muhammad al-Mughazi, or Sidi Muhammad Ghazi. And he is one, if I'm talking about the region of Saudi area, it is the biggest Mawlid or anniversary still done for this shrine.
Till today,
yes. And even the name of the town, it is Sidi Ghazi.
Named after the shrine.
Yes. This is the 13th century. And the most recent one, it is of 1986 of Sheikh Abdul Hafiz Abul Tia. Okay, it is just 40 years ago. But mostly, and this is through maps, there is another way in which I can confirm that those shrines, if I don't have the date, but at least I can see it, for example, in the maps of 1940. So they have at least 110 years ago.
Yes.
So, of course, it can be much more older than this.
And the maps.
Yes, but the maps can give me an indication of that it is at least 100 years ago.
But the 1986 one, I assume that you can then see that it didn't exist and later appears on the recent one.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so who was Abdul Hafiz?
Sheikh Abdul Hafiz Abu Tia is another story, because it is one of the family of Abu Tia. Omar Abu Tia is the sheikh, the founder of the shrines of the family, because this is a unique case that I never found it in Egypt, that there is 12 shrines for one family in just one spot. You can find shrines for the cousins, but in all of Egypt. One in Ismailia and another in Alexandria. But 12 shrines in one spot. This was a unique spot. It is, for me, we are outside of Egypt. It is something like in Morocco, in Tunisia, because people or the family who live till now, the descendant of Omar Abu Tia, still live against or near to these shrines. Well maintained, the very good situation. All have the same colors, but different structure. So they use the same color for all the shrines, but each shrine has its particular structure outside and inside. So it is really, I was surprised of this. And this is in a small village named as Saddetera, and in the old maps, it is named as Qom Rayashat or Qom al-Mashayikh. Qom al-Mashayikh, it means hill of the sheikhs.
The plural. Okay. So it's changed. The name has changed as well. But.
So Sheikh Abdul Hafiz Abu Tia, he was the youngest son of Omar Abu Tia, the founder of the family.
So you got 12 in very dense.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
four and four and three. So three and one. So
Yeah.
there is just 12
Mhm.
really well arranged
Yeah.
and
Okay.
was great. Yeah.
And so, I mean, the density of this family reminds me of what struck me about your project and the map that you produced of all of these 282 shrines, of which some are no longer, as we've said, no longer exist, some still do, is the density of these, that there's very many shrines in, it's a big area, but it's not, it's a little corner of the delta, right?
Yes, it's outside, it's really the western margin of, we are outside the delta, but it is
on the edge.
Yes, on the edge. But if we see for Egypt in general, we can see shrines everywhere. But as I mentioned before, I was really interested in the Maryut Lake history or Maryut Lake
topography.
Yes. So it was just a part of my thesis, and I saw that is a big variety. But if we change this case study and go just to that more to the east, yes, we will find shrines everywhere.
So you don't think the fact that there used to be a lake here and now it's shrunk, do you think that has mean that this area has fewer shrines than it would do if it was less dense?
Maybe, but I want to say that maybe people actually don't know this, but most of the shrines are on, we say combs, but actually it was the old or ancient islands of the Maryut Lake that after all has been, when water has
drained
away, so the island became a hill.
Okay.
And so now the shrine on it.
And the land around it, fields used to be the lake. It used to be water.
Yes. And the Maryut Depression, it is a Maryut Depression in geographically named.
Yeah.
The lake wasn't too deep. It was just 4 meters.
Oh, very shallow.
So it is very shallow. So the difference, we cannot figure it out till we are really on the hill. We can see the difference, but it is not there is not a big difference in topographically in this region.
But I would imagine that is something unique to the Maryut region compared to elsewhere in the delta, that because it used to be water and there were islands, that now you have these little hills or artificial mounds, the combs, on which there are shrines.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting discovery then from the project. And I guess you wouldn't really have known without going yourself.
Yes,
in person.
yes, really.
Yeah.
I can see it through satellite images, but when we are on field, this is something else.
Yeah. And so when you're on the field, you've clearly noticed that some of these shrines are in not so good a state. Some are dilapidated, some need repair. Many don't exist anymore compared to 100, 200 years ago when you have your map data. But what do you think the future of these shrines are? How do they fit into Egypt today and Alexandria specifically, in the region around Alexandria? And then into the future, what do you think their future is?
Well, because most of these shrines are not well known, just for locals.
Yeah.
So they are in dangerous situations than those who are well maintained in big towns or big cities
that have visitors.
Yes, and it is mostly touristic ones.
Yeah.
But in this case, all people at every time when we came to these shrines, they were surprised. Someone came from Alexandria for us. So
even Alexandria, the closest city.
Yes. No one knew about these shrines in Alexandria. No one knew.
Yeah.
So this is why the exhibition had a big success, because they saw something that they are not used to see it every day. Yes, the situation of the shrines, most of these shrines, unfortunately, they are not in a good situation. There is about 10% of them, I think, they are ruined and can be really demolished at any time.
They might collapse.
Yes.
Bad weather or...
Yes, this is why. There is about 20 shrines that has been destroyed after the 2011 revolution. It was in the period of the lack of security, in which because there is Salafism are against the concept of making a shrine. So, but most of the shrines are still now protected by the neighbors or the descendants. But I think they need to have more spot and more maintenance from the officials. This is why we are making this type of projects or documentation to give it to some officials or responsible to have a look.
To help raise awareness.
Yes.
And you've just mentioned, sort of maybe a final question, you've just mentioned the exhibition, which was the second part of your project, the first being the documentation, which is what we focused on today. And then you had a very successful exhibition in Alexandria last year, I believe in the summer.
Yes.
And I've noticed that you just said that many people who came to that, and maybe the reason it was successful is because people didn't know about this heritage that existed, 10, 20, 30 kilometers away on the outskirts of Alexandria. Obviously, the topic or the theme of this year's podcast series so far has been peripheries, which has basically been exploring with different guests regions or ideas that aren't normally considered central to the Islamic world and rethinking about why they are, yes, central. Now, today's topic, Alexandria or Egypt, I don't think many people would consider as peripheral. Egypt is often considered as very central to what we understand as Islamic art. But I'm interested, nevertheless, by your comment that there were a lot of people in Alexandria surprised by the information and the documentation that you did. And so how do you see this project fitting into people's general awareness and knowledge about places or heritage that is close to them but they just don't know about?
Well, this is one of the main objective of this project is to make people know.
Yeah.
This is why I tried to have another exhibition in Cairo and even I hope one day outside Egypt. But we had big success because we found it in the media, in the big newspapers. So we are satisfied that we made some spotlights on the countryside of Alexandria because I want to say, as an Alexandrian, we don't know that Alexandria has a countryside.
Yeah.
We always see there's the sea above us, at the north of us, and the lake at the south of us. Then nothing. But when most of people saw that there is a countryside and there is a heritage and there is a lot of stories because there is legends, stories, spiritual, there's other people living in the same area, in the same governorate. No one knows about this history. So phase 2, it is not just an exhibition, but I would like to have more information about these shrines through the documents in the Waqf or in the Sufi Sheikh-doms, or this will be another phase in which I want to complete and make a sort of a book. A book is encyclopedia or something.
A full reference work.
Yes, in which people can have all the base information of each shrine. I had a lot of calls or demands to visit these shrines. I just gave a GPS position or location of the shrines, which is they admired during the exhibition by name, and they went there.
They wanted to visit.
Yes, and they visited it and they were very happy. I know it needs some work to be a touristic or a center of visit, but people when they understand, these people who live near to this or around these shrines, when they understand, they accept to have this kind of visits, even from foreigners. So, but because they are not have these regular visits, so they were surprised
at the beginning.
But when we talk with them, they accept this. So I hope one day, at least 10, 15, 20 shrines that have never been known to public. Yes, I hope we have more spot on these shrines. I hope we can help, even not talking about visiting, but we can talk about have funds to maintain or to restore or survive these shrines once more.
Let's hope, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Ismail, for a wonderful talk and discussion of your project.
Welcome.
And I look forward to hearing about the next phases.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Barakat Trust podcast.